Vivek Chudamani, presented by Svayam Prakash Sharma, Part 10. Part 10 consists of verses 258 to 290, in which the Guru continues with his discourse on how to get rid of the superimposition on the Atma to realize the Atma. Vivek Chudamani. Continuing his discourse, the Guru says, that which is free from birth, that which is free from growth, free from development, free from wasting and waning, free from disease and free from death, that which is indestructible, that which is the cause of projection, of maintenance, and of dissolution of the universe. You are that Brahm. Meditate on this in your mind. That which is free from differentiation, whose existence never becomes non-existent, which is unmoved, like the ocean without waves. That which is the ever free, that which is of indivisible forms. You are that Brahm. Meditate on this in your mind. That which, even though it is one only, even though it is the only one, still is the cause of the many. That which refutes all the other causes, but is itself without a cause. That which is distinct from Maya and its effect, the universe, and which is independent. You are that Brahm. Meditate on this in your mind. That which is free from duality, that which is infinite and indestructible, that which is distinct from Maya and its effect, the universe, that which is supreme and eternal, that which is underlying bliss, and that which is taintless. You are that Brahm. Meditate on this in your mind. That reality, which is Brahm, though it is one, yet it appears in a variety of forms as many, due to delusion, taking on different names and different forms, taking on different attributes and different changes, but which itself always remains unchanged, like gold in its various modifications. You are that Brahm. Meditate on this in your mind. That Brahm, beyond which there is nothing, which shines even above Maya, which is also superior to the effect of Maya, the universe, which is the innermost Atma of all, which is free from differentiation, which is the real self, which is the real Atma, and which is infinite and immutable. You are that Brahm. Meditate on this in your mind. The truth that has been instilled in you in the preceding verses, meditate on that truth in your mind through the intellect, by means of the arguments that are in harmony with the Vedas. In this body of yours, realize the absolute knowledge that is free from all ignorance and its effects, like the king in the army. Always be established in your own Atma by resting on that knowledge, and doing so, merge the universe in Brahm. In the cave of the intellect, there is the Brahm that is distinct from both the gross and the subtle. That is existence absolute. That is supreme. That is the one without a second. For the person who lives in the cave of the intellect as Brahm, and who always identifies himself with Brahm, O beloved, there is no more entrance into a mother's womb. There is no more birth for such a one. Even after the truth has been realized, there still remains that strong, that beginningless, that obstinate impression that one is the agent and the experiencer, which is the cause of one's transmigration, which is the cause of a person taking on one body after another. This has to be carefully removed. And how is this done? To do so, one has to live in a state of constant identification with the Supreme Self. One has to live in a state of constant identification with the Param Atma. Sages call that liberation, which is the attenuation, which is the weakness of vasanas or impressions here and now. Because the man who has no selfish desires, he easily attains mukti. He easily attains salvation. The idea of me and mine in respect of the body, in respect of the organs and the like, which are the non-self, which are the non-Atma, and which are superimpositions on the Atma. A wise man must put a stop to this superimposition, which he should do away with by identifying himself with the Atma. Realize your innermost self. Realize your innermost Atma, which is the witness of the intellect and its modifications, and constantly turning over this positive thought that I myself am that Brahm. Conquer this identification that you have with the non-self, that you have with the non-Atma. Give up observing social formalities. Give up all ideas of getting the body fit and in good condition. Avoid too much engrossment with the scriptures. And doing all this, do away with the superimposition that has come upon you. Because of the desire to run after society, because of the desire to conform to the norms of society, because of the passion for too much study of the scriptures, and because of the desire to keep the body fit and in good condition, because of all these desires which act as obstructions, the people are not able to attain proper realization. For the person who seeks deliverance from the prison of the world, for the person who seeks freedom from this sansar, mukti from this sansar, these three desires have been designated by the wise as strong iron chains that shackle one's feet, as strong iron chains that bind a person. The person who is free from these three desires, he truly attains to liberation. The lovely color, the lovely smell of agaru, of sandalwood, is hidden by a powerful stench because of its contact with water and the like. That lovely color, that lovely smell manifests itself as soon as the foreign smell, as soon as the powerful stench that covers it has been removed by rubbing. Just as the fragrance of sandalwood is covered by a powerful stench, in the same way, the perfume of the Supreme Self, The perfume of the Param Atma is also covered by the dust of endless violent impressions that are embedded in the mind. It is only when these violent impressions that are embedded in the mind are purified by the constant friction of knowledge that the Param Atma is again clearly perceived. The desire for self-realization is obscured by innumerable desires for things other than the self, for things other than the Atma. When these have been destroyed by constant attachment to the self, by constant attachment to the Atma, then the Atma clearly manifests itself of its own accord. As the mind becomes gradually established in the innermost self, as the mind becomes gradually established in the innermost Atma, it gradually gives up the desire for external objects. And when all such desires have been completely eliminated, then there takes place the unobstructed realization of the Atma. Being constantly fixed in his own Atma, the yogi's mind dies. From this follows the stoppage of all desires. Therefore, do away with your superimposition. Tamas is destroyed by Rajas and Sattva. Rajas is destroyed by Sattva. And Sattva is destroyed by pure Brahma. Therefore, do away with your superimpositions of Tamas by the help of Rajas and Sattva, of Rajas by the help of Sattva, and of Sattva by the help of pure Brahma. Prarabdha is the resultant of past work that has led to the present birth. Knowing that Prarabdha will for certain maintain this body, remain quiet and do away with superimposition. I am not the individual soul. I am the Supreme Brahm. In this way, eliminate all that is non-self. Eliminate all that is non-Atma. And do away with your superimposition, which has come through the momentum of your past impressions. Realizing your own self as the self of all, as the Atma of all, by means of the scriptures, by means of reasoning, and by your own realization, do away with your superimposition in such a way that not even a trace of it remains. The sage has no connection whatsoever with action, since he has no idea of either accepting or of giving up. Therefore, by being constantly engaged with Brahm, do away with your superimposition. Through the realization of the identity of Brahm and the soul as a result of such great dicta as Tat Tvam Asi, or you are that Brahm, do away with your superimposition with a view to strengthening your identification with Brahm. Until the identification with the body, that you are the body, until this identification is completely rooted out, keep working on doing away with your superimposition with watchfulness and a concentrated mind. Even if a dreamlike perception of the plurality of the universe and the soul persists, keep on your work of doing away with your superimposition. O learned man, without any let up whatsoever, without giving the slightest chance to oblivion, without giving the slightest chance to forgetting on account of sleep, on account of matters of the world, or on account of concern for sense objects. Always reflect on the self. Always reflect on the Atma in your mind. The body is very impure. Give up all identification with this impure body. Shun this body, which has come from the impurities of the parents and which itself consists of flesh and impurities. Shun this body from a safe distance as you would shun an outcast. Become Brahm and realize the consummation of your life. Like the space that is enclosed by a jar that is in the infinite space. Merge the infinite soul that is in your body in the supreme soul, in the Param Atma, by means of meditation on their identity, and always keep quiet, O sage. The self-effulgent Brahm is the substratum. It is the foundation of all phenomena. Becoming the self-effulgent Brahm yourself as that supreme reality, give up both the macrocosm and the microcosm. Give up the entire universe, which is other than the self, which is other than the Atma. Give them all up. Discard them as if they were two filthy containers. Your identification that is rooted in the body, that you are the body. Transfer that identification to the Atma, which is Sat Chit Anand, existence, knowledge, and bliss absolute, and discarding the body by ceasing to identify with it. Be you ever alone and independent. Yes, transferring your identification that is presently rooted in the body to the Atma, which is Sat Chit Anand, existence, knowledge, and bliss absolute, and discarding the body, be you ever alone and independent. This concludes part 10 of Vivek Chudamani. Om Shanti, 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 Om.